Hi, I'm Lucy Ellis, Senior Writer at Scrip, and I'm here at BioEurope Spring in Barcelona, and I'm joined by Tom Genentech, the Global Head of Neuroscience, Ophthalmology and Research Tools and Technology Business Development at Genentech. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Lucy.
I wondered if you could start, Tom, by just telling us a bit more about your role at Genentech and what you do.
Yes, I'd be happy to. So I'm responsible for all our licensing efforts in the neuroscience, ophthalmology, and research tools and technology area. So we're looking for neuroscience opportunities in the area of neurodegeneration and non-opioid pain relief. And so I'm here looking for partners in the space, looking to help us build our pipeline there. Also in ophthalmology, we of course have made a great impact in the field with Lucentis. And more recently, we have moved forward with a product for geographic atrophy, which we have in late-stage clinical development called lampalizumab. We're very excited by that. And we're looking for new technologies to complement both the treatment of wet AMD and dry AMD and all retinal diseases here as well.
Brilliant. And so talking about partners then, what kind of stage do you look for, or what does a partner have to be offering to get your interest?
Yeah, so at Genentech's Business Development Group, we're focused on things from discovery through clinical proof of concept. So it's on the earlier side. About 70% of the things we partner are preclinical. And we do occasionally do clinical stage deals, but the majority of that is preclinical. And we're looking for the world's best science and partners that actually share our passion for doing innovative research and bringing transformational therapies to patients.
Okay, and so we hear a lot from Genentech in the oncology space, but not so much in neuroscience and ophthalmology. So I wondered if you could talk about what you've already got in the pipeline there a little bit.
Sure. So probably the most exciting thing to tell you about in neuroscience is actually next week we're expecting the FDA to make a final decision on Ocrevus, which is a brand new medicine for multiple sclerosis. And we have phase 3 data that suggests this medicine is beneficial to patients with primary progressive multiple sclerosis as well as relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. And this is a huge advance because there are currently no existing therapies for primary progressive multiple sclerosis. So we're very excited about bringing a new therapy to patients for multiple sclerosis. And just recently, we've announced that we are really kind of doubling down in our efforts in Alzheimer's disease. We are investing both in crenuzumab, which is a monoclonal antibody against A-beta that has come up through the Genentech pipeline, and gantenerumab, which the Roche group had been developing. So we're very excited by some of the learnings, both from our industry partners and our own internal data that suggests that higher doses and going into an earlier stage patient population might be beneficial. So we're moving forward with those programs. And we also have a phase 1 program, an anti-tau antibody program, which is another, I think, very important target in Alzheimer's disease, which actually correlates a little bit better with the onset of symptoms. So we're hopeful that by bringing antibodies to patients against both these targets that we'll be able to make an impact.
And when do you expect to see some later stage data in the Alzheimer's products?
We're expecting to actually have our first evidence coming through in about 2020. Obviously the anti-tau program is significantly earlier. Another recent advance for us is we've just started last year a phase 1 trial for ALS, which we're very excited about. This was a molecule that was discovered within Genentech, GRED, and which is our research and early development group, targeting a whole new mechanism of action. And so we're hopeful that we'll be able to make some impact in that disease as well.
Okay, and we've seen across the industry a lot more interest in neuroscience recently, despite some big failures that the industry has seen as well. So why do you think that's the case?
Well, at Genentech, we're really driven by the tremendous unmet medical need. I think all of us are familiar with someone, either in our families or friends, that have been impacted by the devastation of Alzheimer's disease. And really there are no good disease-modifying therapies out there. So we're committed to making our best efforts at bringing novel medicines to patients. I think what's opened up is with all the investment in the space, there are new insights in terms of dosing and what the appropriate targets should be. Biomarkers are now more readily available to be able to make sure we're including the appropriate patients in our clinical trials. And of course, with all the human genetic information that's available, it's revealing new targets and new approaches. So we really feel like the science is breaking open and giving us new opportunities where we really didn't have that before.
So lots to see coming up in that area.
Yes, there is.
Genentech's also pursuing personalised medicines. I wondered if you could talk a bit about how you define that within your company.
Yeah, a personalized medicine approach has really been very important to Genentech and the Roche Group at large. And we just think it's really good science and good business, really, to be trying to make sure that we have the right drug for the right patient and the right dose. The days of really treating an all-comer population, I think, are behind us, and now we're actually trying to focus in with biomarker information and genetic information the appropriate patients to be treating with our drugs. So when I say personalized healthcare, it's really making sure that we're tailoring the therapy and treatment to each individual patient.
And where are you on achieving that, and what else would you like to see done?
So we've made great strides at trying to collect DNA sequence information from virtually all the patients that have been enrolling in our clinical trials. Yeah. And we're in the process of analyzing this information and really have always, as part of our clinical development and preclinical development of our programs, been putting forward biomarker discovery programs. And so we've really made some great strides in this space, but I think some of the real benefit is going to be coming in the future.
And do you think you do anything different within your company compared to some of the farmers of your size or your stage of development?
Yeah, I think the fact that we do have, a biomarker discovery hypothesis and program virtually for every clinical development program that we have is a bit unique. And also the fact that we have this unique situation where the Roche Group is not only a pharma company, but also a leader in diagnostics. And that relationship, I think, gives us some unique advantage in being able to bring companion diagnostics forward with some of our therapies. So I think that's a unique aspect of what we do.
And looking further ahead than where you are now then, what's the future of personalized medicines?
Well, I think we're going to see, as I said, that as people's human genetic information, the sequencing costs have come down significantly. That we're going to be using this information to make sure that we're enrolling the right patients. That should ultimately decrease the costs of drug development and increase our probability of technical success. Our hope is by using all this latest technology that it will really make the overall drug development process more efficient, and that we are really having patients benefit in a more profound way than they are right now.
Great. So lots to look forward to at Genentech coming up. Brilliant. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.